the big fight. The other thing that happened over the holidays, well, they just announced it recently, and we talked about this before, but now it's official. Israel Adesanya is now moving up. It's official. He's going to be taking on light heavyweight champion Jan Blachowicz. I've expressed my thoughts on this before. I like the fight. I just don't think it's needed right now. And I think, and then, we have an update now. Jon Jones is very adamant now, saying he's not going back down to 205. So, I get it for Izzy. It'll make him a bigger star if he does win. He gets the double champ status, but then you've got Glover Teixeira in his 40s waiting for a title shot. He's on the sidelines. You've got Robert Whittaker, who's won 2 straight since losing the title. He's on the sidelines. So to me, it seems like a lot for not a lot of gain, but I was curious your thoughts. Does it mean more that Israel Adesanya could be a double champion? To me right now, I don't think it's a big deal.
For legacy and for just the legacy, really, it means a lot to him. It's going to mean a lot later when we look at his career and see what he's done. If he's able to pull this one off and capture that belt, then he'll be in a company of a handful of guys: Connor, Amanda, Cejudo, DC, and him. So there's only 5 people that have done 2 divisions, if I'm not mistaken, right?
There's I think currently, like actively, I think there's a few others. Like I think Couture won belts in heavyweight and light heavy. Like, but you're right. Like simultaneously. Yeah, that's a key word. Yeah.
Simultaneously. Right. So, because there's multiple division champions. Randy Couture was BJ Penn a multiple division champion.
He won welterweight and lightweight. Yeah, you're right.
So there's been guys that have won multiple divisions, but I think he's trying to put himself in that category so that he can make himself a bigger star, make more money, sell more pay-per-views, because now when you market him, you're going to have to say 2-division world champion, so.
And he's very marketable, very marketable. People forget he's got to deal with Puma. This guy is going to be, this is a big year for Israel. And I think too, I'll say this, because again, I kind of don't like the fact you got 2 guys waiting on the sidelines, but at the same time for Israel, I don't blame him, because you know what? It's of all the champs to fight, Jan Blachowicz is in his 40s. He's bound to lose eventually. Like he's been sort of defying the odds. He started his career, I think, 4-3 in the UFC, and then he's turned it around and now he's the champ. So I think Israel knows style-wise, he's faster, doesn't have to cut any weight. This guy has a kickboxing background, Israel, that is. I mean, there's a chance he could win. And talking to some of the fighters, man, a lot of the fighters are picking Izzy in this fight. So
it's going to be. I mean, 185 is not far from 205, and then also Izzy's probably walking around at 215 because
he's a big guy. Yeah, I've seen him in person a couple times.
I saw him yesterday. Bro, he's pretty big. But another thing that you have to take into account, like 205 is not that exciting, and
not now.
And now he's going to go over there and take that. And then 185 is all right. It's nothing crazy. The real party is at 170 and 155 and 145 and heavyweight. The real parties are over there. 185 is like, it's like, do you have a lot of like the old guards versus like the new guards? Yeah. So it's like either you're too old or either like we don't know who the hell you are. Like there's no like.
That's a great way of putting it. That's very true.
You know what I'm saying? Because a lot. Look, I go down to 185. I'm like, who the hell is this guy? I've never heard of him. So there's a lot of guys like that in 185. So, but now that he's out of there, that we'll see if he gets shaken up or not.
And that's why Jones left, I think, as well, too. I mean, people say it's because, he didn't want to go those rematches. He's looking at more money. A fight with Ngannou, a fight with Stipe is going to make him way more money than a rematch with Reyes or a rematch with Thiago Santos. Like that, it makes more sense for Jones to go up there. I have no issues with Jones moving up. He's totally dominated that division. Yes, there's PEDs and all these other things. But look, as far as what Jones has done for the most part, it's been pretty dominant. So I don't mind him going up at this point. I'm fine with it. But part of me wants to see him and Izzy fight, right? I think everyone does.
The baddest man on the planet is always considered the heavyweight, right? The heavyweight champion of the world would be considered the baddest man, Mike Tyson. The highest prestige in fighting you can have, the highest prestige you can have is be the heavyweight champion of the world. Yeah. And Jon knows he's the best fighter in the world. He's aware of that. He knows that. And he's not and he's walking around at heavyweight. You might as well move up. I mean, if Jon was to run into another dude that was 260 on the streets and Jon walked around 225, Jon will knock that 260 guy out. So you might as well move up and go take that. It just makes perfect sense for him. And he's still young. People forget Jon is like, what, 32?
Yeah.
32, 30. He's still very young. So he can have a whole different run with heavyweight. And heavyweights last longer. Heavyweights go till they're 40, 41, 42, 43. Heavyweights can be around a little longer because the power doesn't go away. You know, everything goes away, but the power, and heavyweight is power. You know, it just takes one punch from anybody and it's lights out for the other guy. So he has all the skill sets it takes to break down the heavyweight. He just can't get caught with those big punches, or else he's night for him. And he's shown us that he can get caught with big punches.